Well, believe it or not, folks, I am your auto insider, and we do have a new podcast that's available on Apple, Spotify, and who else?
Google Podcasts?
We don't know, but search for it, and if you find it, subscribe, listen to it, and you might find some interesting tidbits in there, or you might not. And yeah, well, just give it a listen, see what you think. Thank you.
All right, Dad.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
if there was one concept,
Yeah.
only one concept that you had to know before buying a car or going crabbing, what would it be?
Yes, because we will be going crabbing later today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and highly recommend and endorse. If you have not gone to my dad's Instagram, go to his Instagram, scroll down maybe like, I don't know, 10 pictures ago, and the hashtag
Fuck boats.
is everywhere. And this is the first time we're going on a boat together since...
You turned 12 or 13 and we went offshore fishing off of La Jolla.
So that's 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah, because,
So-
well, I'm scared to death of boats on water. You can keep them on dry land, on a trailer. I'm perfectly fine. You introduce water to the concept, and I freak out.
So, stay tuned for that. This also, hopefully, knock on wood, is not our last video. But if it is, it'll be a useful one. And the reason I say that is because the concept we're going to talk about is market day
I
supply.
thought maybe you were thinking of throwing me overboard.
No, throwing you overboard.
Okay.
Market day supply.
Market day supply, yes.
And how that is the concept that as a consumer you should really understand before you make your way into a car dealership. Can you explain what market day supply is, Dad?
Market day supply is exactly what it sounds like. Now, every dealership has a daily travel rate. And by that I mean an average number of cars they sell on a daily basis. Let's say we're talking about a new car dealership that sells, say, 90 new cars a month.
Okay.
Their daily travel rate is 3 cars a day.
They're selling
New car days.
Yeah.
Three new cars a day.
Yeah.
So, ideally, in an ideal world, new car dealerships like to keep between 90 and 120 days supply of cars
Okay.
in inventory.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it's a 120-day supply of cars at a 3 car a day travel rate,
Yeah.
that would be what, 360 cars?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say suddenly they find themselves in a position where they only have 150 cars.
Okay.
So
now the day supply is cut in half.
Cut in half. And let's say, looking at what their incoming inventory is, that there's not a lot scheduled to come in to replenish what they've sold.
Yep.
That impacts their market day supply of cars. That impacts how they price those cars. Because if they can't replace those cars in a timely fashion, then they have to make each one of those cars count a tad bit more profit-wise than when, I don't know, they have too many cars in stock.
Yeah.
So every dealership operates on a market day supply, whether it be for new cars or used cars. Now, you've heard me speak any number of times when it comes to used cars that most dealers have somewhere between a 60 and a 90-day aging policy, which means that if they're on a 60-day aging policy, if they haven't sold the car by 60 days, then they're committed to just take the car to the sale, turn it into cash, and buy something else that they hope they can retail within 60 days.
But so I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
Days on lot is
different than your market day supply. Let's say you sell, I don't know, 90 used cars a month. So you and you want to turn your inventory, I don't know, 6 times a year?
Well, and so I printed out because just to show how this is the company V Auto that we talk about all the time.
Yes.
I'll see if I can get it to focus here. I mean, and I guess it'll be backwards and all that fun stuff, but all their marketing materials,
yes,
maybe not all, but a lot of it is about market day supply.
Yes.
And then they say the industry benchmark for well-balanced inventory is 70 MDS.
Yes.
So that means that you need to have 70 days worth of supply on
of
hand.
Used cars, yes.
Of used cars,
yes.
Yeah.
And that if you have a 70-day supply, then you can keep your pricing at a normal level, what your normal profit margins are. If your day supply drops below that, okay, and you're having difficulty replacing the inventory as you sell it, well, then that makes your existing inventory more valuable.
Yeah.
They become more profitable because you're going to need that extra profit to sustain you until you can replenish the cars. If the market day supply starts to go in the other direction, well, then suddenly as a dealership you have to say, okay, these cars are costing me money sitting here. I need to adjust the pricing downward
Yep.
so that I can turn them into cash sooner.
Yep.
So,
So let's talk about that for a second here, because I pulled up on my screen. I'll put a snapshot up on the screen for the video. Let's talk about the Acura RLX, if you don't mind. Because what
okay,
we're looking at and what you're seeing on the screen here is this comes from Automotive News, one of the industry journals, and it's the market day supply for for the month of May,
was
or excuse me, for April and for May. So the day supply on the first of the following month.
yes,
So the RLX, Dad, had a 709-day market day supply on
yes,
May 1st.
yes, and it had 700 cars in inventory.
So let's
Well, it might have had more cars in inventory on May 1st.
but still. So explain to me as a consumer,
Yes,
how can I leverage that information right there? Does that suggest I'm going to get a better deal or a worse deal?
that suggests you're going to get a better deal because the dealer knows that that car is destined to just sit on the lot. I'll share a little story.
Story time.
It's story time at Your Auto Advocate. There was a time when Acura had a sports utility vehicle.
The ZDX.
No, even before that. But Acura didn't build their own, and it was, you might not remember the brand, but it was an Isuzu. Okay, Isuzu made the Trooper, which was their most popular vehicle, and they badged
Which
one.
is saying something.
Yeah, and they badged one, private label in essence, for Acura. Well, I don't want to say anything bad about it because the Isuzu Trooper was a hell of a car, but the Acura version, I don't know, was like an anchor. Okay, it just sat there. I mean, if you got one in stock, you were thinking to yourself, okay, we might as well plan for its birthday party now, because you were guaranteed to be able to have a birthday party for it. So I remember one time we got one in stock and we had a customer come in, and he was a good customer of ours, and he said, I'll buy that right now, and he threw out a lowball number. And the general manager said, guess what? He said, what's that? He said, you just bought yourself an SLX. He said, really? He said, yeah, we lost about $4,500 or $5,000 to sell the car. And the only reason we did it is we didn't want to have to plan that birthday party. We didn't want to have that anchor sitting on the lot for 450 days before we could get rid of it.
And that's because of floor planning costs.
Yes. So when you look at the RLX now, on June 1st, the day supply dropped to 242 days. There's only 700 RLXs in inventory in the country, and it's still going to take them 242 days to sell all of those. So if you go into an Acura dealership and you know that they can't sell these to save their life, I don't know. If you show any real interest in it, and even if you give them a somewhat low ball offer, they just might surprise the hell out of you and take it because it's in their best interest to do that. Now,
let's cross-reference it. Let's do
okay.
Subaru trucks.
Subaru trucks, 22-day supply of vehicles on June 1st. Well, that indicates to me that they can't guarantee that there's going to be replacement vehicles in a timely manner, so that if a dealer is going to sell one of those, he's going to hold on to a little more profit before he lets it go because he doesn't have anything to sell after he sells it. He doesn't have a replacement vehicle to sell. So the smaller number of days supply, the more profitable the vehicles become, the less likely the dealerships are to discount them in any great amount.
And let's put one more up on the screen. It'll be the Toyota trucks, right?
Yes.
They went from 102 MDS to 35.
Yes.
So again, that's another example. And we heard Chris say it about a week ago. Toyota's
Yeah.
going to run out of.
They
UV
expect to run out of cars the end of not all cars, but
some
probably
vehicles.
things like the trucks and stuff like that. They expect to run out of those by the end of July, the beginning of August. So, suddenly those cars become more valuable, and if the dealer knows that he can't replace it, he's not selling it cheap. He can't afford the cheap.
So
sell
let's
it.
talk about that. So from a management perspective,
Yes.
because as a sales manager, how were you trained to really keep track of your market day supply? Was there a certain number that you were always trying to maintain, or
I was trying to keep my new car inventory under 90 days old. So I wanted to be turning my new car inventory more quickly than most dealerships did. And I wanted to keep my incoming cars to a number that would allow me to stay at a 90-day aging policy for my new cars. So I knew what my daily travel rate was on every model.
Yeah.
I knew what my allocation was, and I knew what was scheduled to come in that month for every model. So I could project out where I would be. Now, I remember in the end of 2007 and 2008, the market kind of tanked.
yeah.
Okay, because of the financial crisis. And I could see that for instance, if I was selling 45 new TLs a month,
Mm-hmm.
and the factory was normally sending me between 40 and 50, so I could keep my standardized inventory, that was great. But suddenly, I'm only selling 30, and they still want to send me 50. And then suddenly we're only selling 20 a month, and they're thinking, well, yeah, but we need to build your inventory up. We're going to start sending you 60 a month. Well, that doesn't pencil.
And so if we were looking at the broader market, like these numbers from Automotive News,
Yeah.
the market day supply for TLs would have been going up.
Going up and going.
up.
I mean, I knew looking at my charts
Just your
that
own
I kept
inventory.
that okay, I'm going to be in trouble here. So I need to start adjusting my prices or what I'm willing to accept as a profit on these cars early on, as opposed to waiting
Yep.
for my inventory to really get bloated. Now, even knowing that, I couldn't.
still couldn't sell,
I
yeah.
couldn't prevent the inventory from getting really bloated.
Yeah, definitely. And so I think as a concept, that's what makes this so important to understand, is because you start to mash together the market day supply, the days on lot, and the time of month. And now you're starting to become a more informed shopper in terms of trying to negotiate the best deal.
You'll know if or if not
Yeah.
when it comes to, do I have leverage?
Yeah.
Do I? Yeah, because their market day supply is real high. The time it's been on the lot is real high. It's the end of the month. They have objectives to hit. I've got real leverage here.
Exactly.
Market day supply is real low. They don't have anything coming in. The car's only been on the lot for
A
7
week.
days.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have quite as much leverage. So yes, it's an important concept. It's important to understand the value of inventory management to a dealership.
Because if you think about it, that's what they're being measured against. That's what you were measured against for your whole career. So that'll influence how likely they are to negotiate. And where can someone, teeing you up here, Dad, where can someone find this information?
I'll be damned if I know, but I've heard a rumor that my son is working on something for Your Auto Advocate.
It's not a rumor. We're literally trying to take what's in your brain and build a program that does it. So you're involved.
I feel like I'm watching the Mel Brooks movie Young Frankenstein, and Marty Feldman comes back and he says, "Did you get the brain?" He said, "Yeah." What name was on it? Abby Normal. So if they're trying to pull shit out of my brain, it could be a little screwed up, but I guarantee it's going to be some fun information.
Yeah, no. So what we're working on is taking market day supply data that we're pulling in. People keep asking or have asked us because we stopped.
Yes.
We stopped doing the car buying service. If you want to work with us in that capacity, we can't help you anymore. But I'm building this tool that essentially you put in your zip code and you put in a type of vehicle you're interested in, and it'll tell you what the market day supply is for that region for that day. So it's up to date every single day. And then it'll also tell you how many days the vehicle's been on the lot. And since we know what day of the month it is, we're able to start to come up with this negotiability score. And we even have this concept called raise recommendation. So all that's a work in process. Should be out in a couple weeks here, maybe by beginning of August. And yeah, obviously my dad's been helping me out a lot.
Now, I think we owe it to our viewers to answer one very important question that they keep asking, and
Sure.
that is, well, why have you pivoted away from the buying service that you're doing? And truth be told, that business went from, I don't know, 0 to 100 in like 3.8 seconds.
To be very frank, it went from 3 customers to 119 customers in 2 weeks, which thank you. Genuinely, and honestly, we've never said that on the channel. Thank you to everyone that watches. This is incredible that we can help and support. But for 2 guys in a condo, we were both working 14, 15, 16-hour days and looking at each other like, what the hell are we doing? We can't. The quality of the service just became...
It became overwhelming, and we realized that we couldn't provide the level of service that we thought the customers were entitled to. And if you can't do what you set out to do, and to take care of the customers the way you set out to take care of them, then you have to back away from it. And the other truth is, I really enjoyed being semi-retired, and I really wasn't enjoying being, I don't know, extra full-time employee here. It was fun, but I will tell you that my blood pressure went up, I don't know, 20, 30 points. I couldn't sleep at night because I was still trying to work car deals for people in my head, trying to remember who I had to contact in the morning and what deals I was working. So it grew too fast, it grew too fast. Why don't I just stop? It grew too fast, too quickly.
But I think there's another angle here that's really important, which is we can seriously take your years of experience.
What's in here, apparently?
Yeah, and give it to people. I mean, we're doing we're doing that through the YouTube channel, but my background's in programming and technology. I mean, I want to build something that really allows people to level that playing field. And thank goodness you're willing to give it a shot with me, man. So anyway, market day supply. Really important to understand. That's why we got the clickbaity title, but it really is important. And yeah, we're really excited and looking forward to
Clickbaity,
yeah,
Ned Beatty's brother he never spoke about.
All right, yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
Do we got a new watch for today?
Oh, watch for stay right here.
I'll
I'm gonna go grab a watch. This is one of my favorite watches. I have blue eyes, and I love the color blue, and this watch just pulls the blue right out of my eyes. It's a blue dial, blue band. It's made by a company called Torgoin. I'd never heard of them, but they swear it's a Swiss-made watch. Well, maybe the movement's Swiss-made. Who the hell knows where it's really put together? But it's a great watch. I really love it. It's waterproof to 300 feet. And I'm planning on wearing that on the boat today in case, I go, man overboard! Sorry, folks. I got carried away, which is, not unusual.
All right, till next time.